Welcome everyone. My name is Nigel Silito from Insight Discovery, and I have the great pleasure of hosting this webinar for Senasen, and I'm joined by Blair McPherson, the founder of Senasen. Blair, how are you doing?
Very well, Nigel. How are you?
Excellent. Look forward to seeing you in London soon.
Yes.
It's been too long. So for those of you who aren't too familiar with Senasen, it's a digital communication platform which engages asset management companies with investors. It's sometimes described as the LinkedIn for the financial services industry. And at Insight Discovery, we're responsible for marketing Senasen in the Middle East, and we're focusing our efforts really on small to medium-sized investment management companies. So let me pass the baton over to Blair so that he can run through a demo. But before he does, please do remember that if you have any questions for Blair or myself, please do send them via Zoom. So for everyone watching, thank you very much for joining us today, and over to you, Blair.
Thank you, Nigel. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time. It's much appreciated. What I thought I would do is actually show you the platform to make it more tangible. And to Nigel's point, please ask as many questions as you like. So I'm going to share my screen. Right, so here we are. We're inside Senasen within an asset manager's account. So I'm going to go through a number of different areas. As Nigel mentioned, some of the concepts of the design we've taken from social media, but it's not social. It's a completely professional and moderated network. The areas of groups that we invite are private companies, public companies, asset managers, and investors who are high net worth, family office, pension funds of that ilk. So what I thought I'd do is show you the experience of an asset manager capability. So this is Signature Asset Management, and this is what a profile page looks like. So again, this is all user-generated content. So an asset manager would come onto the Senasen platform, register, and then start building a profile like you would on something like LinkedIn. So this page shows the overall profile, so logo, location, some general information around assets under management, asset classes managed, and you can click right through to the website. As I'll show you on some other pages, there'd also be a message button, a private message button here, and a follow button. But because this is the actual signature page, this won't show up. Then an asset manager would provide an overview, some videos, latest comments, and you can see who's made these comments. So again, if you look at this comment from James, you can click on James, and this is James's investor profile. So again, an investor logs on, creates a profile, and provides some information such as location, investor type, investment interest, biography, and their latest comments. And they can also create their own private rooms, which I'll show you in a little while. Then there's a Q&A section, document section, and a news section that can flow automatically through to the page as an RSS feed or a blog. So really, this part of the experience is focused on brand recognition, thought leadership, what is the organization all about? And then we move into another level of detail with regards to the fund level. So an asset manager can create individual fund pages by fund. So for example, Signature Global Equity. And whenever we get to this level, there's always disclaimers that people must accept for a compliance perspective, which I'll show you later on to take a look at that page. And again, this just goes to another level, the same page layout as the profile page, but provides more detail, which really drives the search component, which I'll show you later on. And then finally, there's a private room section where you can create groups on an invite-only basis to talk about a specific area of interest. So it's very simple. It takes maybe 10 minutes to populate a profile, but what I'm going to do is demonstrate how you do that, and then I'll go through some of the other areas of the functionality of the platform. So within the edit profile page, you enter your details of your organization that we just saw displayed. Here, there's account settings. You can allow users to ask questions or not, enable podcasts or not, receive email alerts on any new comment, new question, new follower, new message. And this is quite important from an engagement perspective and efficiency perspective, because this is not just about content, but it's also about interaction and getting visibility and connectivity through that interaction. Now, to upload content, you have lots of options to navigate to do this, but it's as simple as choosing a title or coming up with your own. You can upload directly, or you can copy paste a YouTube or Vimeo URL. And you can tag each file type by who's it suitable for a private investor, professional investor, an intermediary institution. So you can give different investors different experiences, all in an automated fashion. And same with documents. And that helps populate your profile page. Now, when we get to a fund level, which I showed you earlier, this gets much more specific and targeted. So I'll just use an existing fund that we looked at before. And when you create a fund page, characteristics around the name of the fund manager, assets under management for the fund, an overview, fund disclaimer, which everyone has to accept when they click through to the fund page. If there's an RSS feed on the fund specifically, or a blog that flows through automatically, fund type, asset class, residency of the fund. So you can change that around if you wanted. And most importantly, suitability for investor type and location. So you can tag the fund pages by who's allowed to see them or who you'd want to see them. So you could say all investor types, or you could say actually only a professional investor in Europe, and within Europe only United Kingdom. So this is important because when an investor creates an account, they have to designate who they are by what country they reside in and what investor type they are when they log in. So this prevents anyone from seeing information that's not appropriate to them. So from a compliance perspective, this is very important and automates a lot of that process for you. And then you click update, and that provides your fund page that we looked at over here. Okay. Now, finally, with regards to creating content in different areas, there's a private room section. Creating a private room is very easy. You just title a room, and you can have as many rooms as you like. The purpose of the room, the sensitivity of the data, and overview, and click if it's invite only, or people can request to have access to your room or not. So a lot of our users use this for specific clients, journalists, something where you want to be very focused and specific on the types of information you're engaging with. And I'll go into kind of different options that people use today, things like Dropbox, but it doesn't really have that design and feel that for our purposes suits our investor base. So that's a component of the platform with regards to an asset manager as a user of uploading content, creating a profile, and encouraging people to follow them. Now I'm going to go through the other experiences that you share with investors with regards to functionality. So it all starts with search and allowing a user to effectively find you. So options today to find an asset manager, Google search, or you might go to a financial website. But this can be much more specific within your ecosystem with regards to choosing by fund type, by asset class, by country, and people can go and find you. So if I go view all, just to make it simple, and I pick up Cameron Hume as an example, here in Scotland, actually, I can find Cameron Hume and I can follow them, send them a message, or go to the website after I've looked at some of their content. And whenever I follow someone, it populates my dashboard of who I'm following. And I'm able to follow other companies, other asset managers, investors, specific funds, so on and so forth. And whoever I'm following automatically populates my newsfeed. So you'd be familiar with this on whoever uses LinkedIn, of who you're following or connected to, populates your newsfeed. So from a user perspective, you don't need to go to their another page all the time. Users don't have to go to your page all the time. Anything that you populate, a document, a video, any comments on your page, flows automatically to your newsfeed, and you can just follow along from here. Also within the newsfeed, we talked about the search component, but any new company that joins, any new asset manager that joins will show up in the newsfeed, as well as most popular companies. Most popular means by number of followers. Okay, and you'll receive alerts, as we talked about before.
Yeah, Blair, I just have a question coming through.
Yeah.
Someone's asked, what's the cost to actually subscribe to this service?
Yeah, good question. So we'll move over to this cut area. So here's the pricing, which is, you can see on the website in the footer at any time if you're choosing. It's a freemium model. So it's for a basic account, it's free. And you get a certain amount of content and user capability. Then it's bronze, silver, gold. As there's more content you want, more user accounts, more functionality such as Q&A messaging, archiving, which I'll show you in a moment. So it goes up to bronze, $39.95 per month if VAT applies or not, £325 a month, and £670 a month. And this is all processed through Stripe payment system. There is an annual discount. So if you buy an annual subscription, there's a 10% discount to that. Okay. So it's as simple as clicking on your choice, clicking on proceed, pay with card, and enter your details. And that's all processed automatically, and you receive an invoice automatically. Okay.
Could you also maybe explain why it's been designed mainly for small to medium-sized asset management companies? Obviously, private banks might be interested as well. Could you just give some logic behind, your target audience and why you actually set up Senasen in the first place?
Yeah. So let me go to this document that's actually on the Senasen profile page. And I'll start with this, and this is very simplistic, but really we look at visibility and connectivity relative to price. And we look at the options that there are in the marketplace today. So in the right-hand quadrant where we have events, travel, and brokers, those are great things to do to get direct connectivity with investors. However, there's two challenges with it. One, they can be costly. And everyone has different types of budgets. And two, such the environment we're in today, you can't do them at all. So you're quite restricted from that perspective, and they can be quite costly. Kind of the other option people have is traditional advertising, which can be a little bit less, but you're a little further away from direct visibility and connectivity to your audience. And it's a bit of a guesswork as to if your advertising is going to hit your target audience. And there's no interaction around that. So what have people done over the recent years to try to be more efficient? They've looked at digital tools, and their options they've turned to is obviously email first. So yes, email's not very costly, but it's not providing much visibility and connectivity. It's not that efficient. People have relied on building up their websites, which everyone should do. But from an investor experience, and I'm an investor, we don't like going to hundreds of different websites and trying to Google search to find things. It's not very efficient. And finally, in recent times, people using social media, which by definition is social. It was not built for corporate communications or business communications to build profiles. It was built for individuals. So LinkedIn, as we always say, LinkedIn was built for people's careers, Twitter's for people's opinions, which can have some antisocial behavior, and Facebook's really kind of for friends. So really what we've done is, in this fourth quadrant, built something that has the functionality of similar to social media, but it's an all professional environment with distinct user groups invited to try to increase that visibility and connectivity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good description. Thank you. I'm just conscious of time. So
yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to highlight to those who are watching?
Yeah, I think compliance and control. So I won't go through all the messaging options, but I will mention control in two areas. We mentioned in the pricing that you can have multiple user accounts where you can invite your compliance team, your marketing team, your product team, whomever, to have access to the platform, to have oversight and give them full access. So you can invite different teams in your organizations to oversee how you're using the product. In addition, there's also an archiving function. So any documents, videos, podcasts, Q&A, anything, any activity on your account is stored up to 5 to 7 years, depending on what you choose, so that there's a complete record of all activity and it's time-stamped. So again, that's a little different than you'd find on kind of social media platforms. I think those would be the key elements.
Great, thank you. And who's the best person, Blair, to, if they subscribe or take the 3 option with Senasen, who within an asset management company is best suited to handling the update? Is it someone in marketing? Who would you normally recommend?
Yeah, whoever's managing other channels, so it tends to be marketing, depends on the size of the organization. You know, if it's a very small boutique, it could be the fund manager themselves. But generally tends to be the marketing team that would do normal communications with their client base and investors.
Well, I really appreciate your time today. I think it's been a fantastic demo. Obviously, we've recorded this, so we will share it to those who unfortunately weren't able to join the webinar. So if you have any additional questions, you can always send them to me at info@insight-discovery.com. So thank you once again, Blair, for your time today. And thank you to everyone for watching. Hopefully we'll catch up again soon in person.